So I'm going to give a brief overview here just as we get started, and then we'll each dive into our sections. So Universalis and Universalis Jr is a French online encyclopedia. The articles in Universalis Jr are adapted for children. It has a French interface only, but the articles are bilingual. Not everything in there will be. I have run across things in there that aren't in English and French, but it will tell you, we'll explain that. It's good for school projects, science fairs, or French immersion students as well. So that's what Universalis Jr. And you have to enter your search terms in French in order to get any results. And then there's Tumblebooks. Tumblebooks allows users to read, watch, and listen to stories. The books and interface are available in English and French and Spanish. So there's quite a variety of languages available. It's useful for children with learning disabilities, someone who's reading needs a little bit of help, and it makes reading fun. Now, Britannica, probably sounds familiar to lots of you, is of course an online encyclopedia, and the articles in Britannica are adapted for children, young adults, and adults. So it's got 3 different levels in it. It has an English interface only, but articles can be translated into multiple languages using the Google Translate tool. It's good for school projects, university projects, other research, because it's got the 3 different levels of information. And it does have an audio function that allows users to listen to articles being read aloud. That can be very attractive to beginning readers, readers who have difficulty reading print, and reluctant readers. So there's lots of ways for people to get the information they need out of the Britannica database. And finally, we have the World Almanac Kids and World Almanac Kids Elementary. Again, like Britannica, it's an online encyclopedia with articles adapted specifically for children. The interface is English only, but articles can be translated using Google Translate. And it's you can read aloud on that one as well. So it's very similar in a lot of ways to the Britannica in terms of its usage and function. Now I'll turn it over to Jessica for Universalis Jr.
All right, so we're going to get started with Universalis Jr. So Universalis Jr. homepage has quite a few different tools that are listed up here in the navigation bar. So we're going to go over those. And I did just want to remind you, as Stephanie mentioned, that the interface is in French and you must put in your search terms in French, but there are articles available in English as well. So just a little tip there if you're going to use it. So those functions up in the navigation bar include the Accueil button, and this allows you to return to the home page, so it'll bring you back to this page every time. It has an up-to-date world atlas. There are also 2 dictionaries available under Dictionnaire, so there's one in French for definitions of French terms in French language, and there's one that will translate French terms into English. The Mon Universalis button allows you to see your favorites, your saved articles, and it also gives you a search history for your current session. And here is the search box where you put in your search terms, and you also get a different featured article of the day on the front page, so this article changes each day. And down here you can see you can choose whether you want to read this article en français or en anglais, so you can switch from French to English. So here's an example of one of the articles that you would search. So if you search for the term âne, which is donkey, you would find this example of an article about donkeys. You can change the language at any time by switching up at the top, article en français or article en anglais, to switch between French and English. On the right-hand side, you'll see a summary of what you'll find in the article. So these are kind of like section headings. So you'll see the actual definition. You can see if there's any media that might be available, any kind of pictures and audio related to that donkey article. You can see some sort of any websites or articles that might be linked. And this will give you an internet search with the search engine Quant, and it's a search engine that doesn't use cookies. And in this case, it's linked to Quant Jr. with Universalis Jr. At the bottom of the article, you'll find some citations. You'll also find some article options up here at the top. So there is the Taille du text that will allow you to change the size of the text. Favori will allow you to save this as a favorite article that you can go back and find later. You have the option to print with imprimer. Écouter will allow you to listen to the article. We don't actually have that option on this one, but many of the articles do. This one you can also get a PDF version if you'd like. If there is an English version of the article, like I said, you can switch to it at any time. Not all articles have all the parts available in English, but if they do, you'll see this option up at the top. Also, if you double click on any of the words in the article, the French dictionary definition will come up. And if you double click a word in the English version of the article, the word will appear with the French translation of the word from the bilingual dictionary. So if you go into the atlas part of Universalis, this is what it will look like. So it includes maps of the world, of every continent, and of all countries, as well as information about the countries, but it's available in French only. So by using the navigation menu, you can click onto a continent and open a list of all the countries in that continent. And to find information on a specific country, you can type its name into the search box and you'll see the information that comes up here. So that's information such as population, life expectancy, capital city, and bordering countries. So the dictionaries. The French dictionary provides a definition of the word. So you can see here someone typed in avion. So you can get the definition of avion en français. And if you type it into the French English dictionary, you will see the definition is airplane, and it will give you the French for the English term or the English to the French term. You can switch back and forth using the button toggle right at the top. It also will give you the phonetic pronunciation of the word if you need it. All right, so on the homepage, there's also a section called Projet Interdisciplinaire, and this is only available in French. It's a section designed for teachers that want to do a research project with their class. So it has some pre-planned projects so that teachers can follow the instructions, and there's articles that they can send their class to and kind of search terms and that sort of thing. So it might be something useful if you're going for a class visit that you might want to show to some teachers. All right, so MBPLS library card holders can also access another version of Universalis under the general interest resources. And this version is more for secondary and post-secondary students and the general public. In the general interest version, the articles are a little bit more detailed and the interface kind of more reflects the age group. It doesn't look as fun and exciting as the other version, Universalis Jr. So that's pretty much it for Universalis and Universalis Jr. We'll move on to Tumblebooks, which I really like. It's a nice little fun database to be able to use. So the Tumblebooks homepage, you'll find a whole bunch of different colored tabs right up at the top. And this kind of lets you navigate through all the content in Tumblebooks. So you'll see there's storybooks, which are what they say, they're picture books. Read-alongs, which are more chapter books and novels, ebooks, there's graphic novels, nonfiction, videos, math stories, français, playlists, puzzles, and games. So you can view books when you come right in and choose one of these. We chose storybooks in this case. You'll see the titles listed there. The default is by title, and so you can see them here, but you can sort them in a couple of different ways. You can sort them by publication date, author, or reading level. You can also view them instead of by cover, by subject. So different options that are available there to help you browse through the collection. In the upper right-hand corner, there's a drop-down menu that lets you select the language. So you can change the interface to French or Spanish. It will also change the content of the database, so not just the actual interface itself, also the books that you'll be seeing will change. There are a lot more books and more options in English than there are in the other languages, so just be aware of that. The Tumble search right here will allow you to search for a book by title, author, subject, genre, language, and it's only available in the English interface. So storybooks, if you go into that storybook tab and choose a book, you'll be able to open it and watch it and listen to it as well. So the illustrations in the storybooks are animated and the text is read aloud. And the text that's being read, it is the text that's being read, it's synchronized with the audio so that the readers can follow along with the story. And you'll find options listed to the left of the book. You can read online, so you can watch and listen to the book right online. You can add it to your favorites, so you can go back and find it later. Add it to a playlist, so you can make a list of books that will play uninterrupted. There may be some games related to that book, and you can click on the Games tab to find those. Some quizzes will let you answer questions about the book. If there are any lesson plans for teachers, they're linked here under the lesson plan link. And under book report, you can find a series of questions for students to answer about the book, which they can print and present as a report. On the right-hand side, there are some details about the book, like the author and the illustrator, the word count, how long it takes for the book to play, the audio, and also the reading level. The book will open in a new window when you click Read Online, and there are buttons that will allow you to navigate through the book and adjust the sound as well. So with read-alongs and ebooks, these are chapter books for older audiences. Read-alongs include audio. All you have to do is click on the blue button, so you'll see right here, this little blue button, and the sentences will be highlighted in yellow as they're being read. Ebooks can only be read in print. They don't have audio accompanying them. And neither of the read-alongs or the ebooks include illustrations. In French, you'll find that these two types of books, the read-alongs and the ebooks, are combined into one tab called Roman. At the bottom of the screen, you'll find some reading options. So you can see a list of chapters under chapter menu. You can mark your place using bookmark, or you can change the size of the font and the text, as well as the space between the letters with the text options. You can change the color of the page or the text with color options. And the last thing is you can take notes on your reading under My Notes. The green arrow buttons will also allow you to move back and forth on the page, so you can move ahead or move back. You can also add read-alongs and ebooks to your favorites or create a book report. So there's also the option of graphic novels. And to view a graphic novel, you have to click Read Online. They're fully illustrated but not animated. You can add them to your favorites or create a book report with graphic novels, and they work best with mobile devices such as iPads. It's just better for viewing them. The nonfiction tab only exists in the English interface, and these books have functions that are similar to the storybooks, read-alongs or ebooks, depending on what level they are. If it's a younger leveled nonfiction book, then you'll have the animations the same as the storybooks, and some of them are read-alongs or ebooks. And they talk about real-life subjects just the same as our nonfiction books in the library. There's also a tab for videos. If you choose a video, it will open in a new window when you click on Play Video. So there's a few different ones. Most of them are National Geographic videos. Tumblebooks also includes puzzles and games based on books. So like I mentioned before, you can find the specific games related to a title when you open that title and move to the Games tab over on the side. Or you can just click on Puzzles and Games to find a whole list of all the puzzles and games on Tumblebooks. On the Options tab at the top of the homepage, there are a few other options to explore. So Index will show the list of all the books available in Tumblebooks in alphabetical order. And a little red speaker will show whether that book has audio available and the book can be listened to. My Favorites assembles all the books that you've marked as your favorites into one list. And the My Playlist assembles all the books that a user has added to a playlist, and that will allow you to listen to those books one after another without any interruption. And that's it for Tumblebooks.
All right, thanks, Jessica. So now we're going to move on to the two encyclopedia databases we mentioned earlier, and the first one is Britannica Online. So, first thing about Britannica, it's available for different age groups. Now you can do a search directly from the home page by entering keywords in the search bar relative to your desired age group. The age group will determine the level of the information that you find. So you're level 1, children, right here. And then level 2, young adults, right here. And of course there's the 3, one just called reference center, that relates to adults. So that would be your most difficult articles, the stuff written at an adult reading level. So today we're only going to focus in the presentation on the level for children and the level for young adults, because this is the basis for children that we're focusing on. Now you can also change the level once you've performed a search. So if you start searching in here, but when you get results you need to up them or whatever, then you can do that. If you click on one of the age groups without entering any keywords in the search box, you will open up the home page that relates to that group. So you can see 3 different home pages based on the 3 different reading levels. Our first home page we'll have a look at is the children level. On the children's home page, you can see the activities that are highlighted by Britannica. The arrows will help you navigate through various topics. At the top, you have the search bar, which is right here, which allows you to search all of Britannica's different information sources. So you're going to get results from all the different types of media they have in here based on your search terms. In a list of the results from your search terms, articles will be displayed first because the majority of patrons use Britannica to find an article. So that's what you'll get first. The research tools can be accessed at the top of the page under Research Tools and Materials, right there, or on the home page under the highlighted activities. There are more categories of tools than appear at the bottom of the page. See, there's Show More right there, so there's more than just what you see here. The various categories include articles, that right there, media, World Atlas, biographies, Animal Kingdom, Canada in Focus, and then some ones that we can't see include Geography Explorer and Compare Countries. So if you click on Show More right there, like I mentioned, you'll get the list. All right, so here is our page where you've done a search on donkey, and we've got a list of results. So when you perform a search, up in the search bar right here, you'll see the articles first by default, as I mentioned. You can change the level of your search here, which will bring you to results for different reading levels. The other resources allow you to see images, videos, a dictionary, magazines, and web's best site. You can see that all right down here. So although we're looking at articles first, you can change it over to look for images of donkeys, see if Britannica has any videos on donkeys, get dictionary definitions of the term, see what magazine articles they might have available, and it'll take you out to find their recommended websites. Here's the level changes right up here. See, right now we're on level 1, but if we wanted to up it to, say, the high school level, you can click 2, or for adults, you can click 1. All right, so now we're looking at the article itself. On the right here, you will see different icons that allow you to save, print, email, cite, translate, change the size. They're all right there. All the different things that you can do with the article. In the upper right-hand corner of the article, you have buttons that allow you to hear the text read aloud. If the text is translated into another language, the audio will be produced, but it'll have an English accent. So fair warning, just in case. It might be difficult to understand sometimes. Depends, of course, on people's listening preferences, but you don't get a choice. It's just a standard translation. And for the save function for articles, like some of the other databases we've already gone over, like Universalis, you can save things, but you have to make an account in Britannica to do it, and we'll touch on that. And now we will. So if you make an account in Britannica, it'll allow you to save the articles, save websites, images, all in one place. So you could just go to our website, log into Britannica, then log into your account from inside it, and stuff you've looked at before will still be there. So you have to create an account by filling out a form the first time you do it, right there. I think most people are pretty used to creating accounts for things, so you know, username, password, and once you've done that, you can sign in with your username and password each time that you use Britannica. So that's available to people, patrons. So now we've had a look at the children's homepage and what's available there. Now we'll have a look at the young adult homepage. The main difference between the children's section and the young adult section is how the content is displayed. You can see already it's not quite as bright colored and stuff as our previous article. The content is also adapted for an older audience. So apart from the games, which only appear in the version for children, the same research tools and materials are available. So everything's the same except they don't have any games that relate to the article for the older kid. And there is one other difference. Young adults have access to 2 additional resources. One is called primary resources and one is called Year in Review. So in addition to the standard ones, articles, images, biographies, atlas, etc., that we saw the first time, they also get something called primary resources and year. Primary sources, I think, is very good because a lot of older students need that kind of stuff for their projects, so it's a good thing to have. So just to kind of show you quickly here, this is the reference center section. This is the one that would be written for the adult level. So the visual layout, content, all adapted for adults, but the navigation and function of this tool is similar to the other sections. I just want to touch on it briefly because older students and stuff may want to jump right in here. It might suit their needs best, or teachers, as well, and of course the general public. But since our focus was on children, it's up to you. You can recommend whatever level you think is best to a parent or teacher or student in front of you. Just use your judgment. And they can use their own too. You could just show them the database and they can go themselves. So that's Britannica. So now we'll move on to World Almanac. So we have World Almanac Kids and World Almanac Kids Elementary is available in our online databases. The World Almanac Kids is a database for intermediate level students. The content is appropriate for children grades 4 through 8 is their target audience in that one. So World Almanac Kids Elementary targets children in or below grade 4. So that's what World Almanac's designed those 2 levels for. So for your K to 4 kids, head into the elementary section. For the older elementary school kids, try just World Almanac Kids. Here's the home page. So it has a lot on it, and we'll be going through. The blue ribbons at the top and bottom of the page, you can see I'm indicating the top one right here, are found throughout the database unless you've been redirected to an outside source via the help page or something. But basically, anytime you're in World Almanac, these blue ribbons are available at the top and bottom of the page. So in the top, you've got your standard search bar at the top of the page. There it is right there, with a link to the advanced search underneath right there. So there's a help link right up here in the top right-hand corner. That will redirect you to a new page called Support Center. And in the Support Center, there are guides, search bars for articles on popular questions, topics, policies, a live help function. So if you do need help with using the database anyway, come there and click. Beside the help link, you'll find My Saved Items, where you can save your articles and searches. So you have to create an account to access it, just like we would have done in Britannica. But it's right there and available. So then there's also quick links to resources under the search bar. So the search bar is here, but right underneath, we've got our home function. So you can go back to the home page at any time. Remember, this blue bar is always there. And then we've got topics, where you can search by subject rather than just type in a keyword. You can click on a list of topics. There's videos, so if you want looking specifically for media content, you might start there. And games. So there's games and quizzes on different topics through that tab right there. And of course, we have a lovely tab here that says More. So under the More tab, you'll find science projects. So this section will offer help with science experiments, or a place where you can find ideas on the subject. So whenever that gets assigned in schools, handy place to look. There are also projects for people with disabilities. There's actually a whole section called Projects for Students with Disabilities. So also very handy. You might want to show that to your teachers. and when they come in, because that might help them out a lot. In addition to science projects, you also have maps and flags. So that section's under more. So covers various countries, also provinces. So that question comes up a lot. We'll find stuff in there. There is a section called Fun Facts, which has an ensemble of interesting facts on various subjects. Pretty typical type of stuff. And there's a homework help section. So there's actually quite a bit. Oh, and there is the teacher resources over here. So that covers all those tabs. So teacher resources includes lesson plans, diagrams, handout. So things teachers could use on particular subjects that they're teaching. There's stuff there they can access for free. All right, so under the blue ribbon, you will find the home page. So here it is right here. And which offers featured articles. So this changes daily right here. Quizzes, there's the quiz right there. The answer is Venus, by the way. It's tricky. Everybody always wants to say Mars, but I did this quiz when I was practicing it. And I was right. There's also the featured topics. You can't really see here because the screenshot kind of cut it off, but every day they have different featured topics, you know, like more thing. And there'll also be a list of influential people's birthdays. So lots of fun trivia right on the home page of World Almanac Kids. Now, if you want to change the language that you're using when you're in World Almanac, it can be changed by using the drop-down menu in the blue ribbon at the bottom of the page. So this is the blue ribbon that appears at the bottom of each page when you're in there. And there is a function here, select language. I'm circling it right now. All right. The translations are provided by Google Translate. So it is, we're not dealing with a human being translation. It's machine translation through Google Translate. And only the article will be translated. The interface around it on the page remains in English. So that will stay English, but the content you're looking at can change to a different language. You can't search the database in another language. You would have to be searching in English, but you can do it. I did a translate on a pretty simple article just to test it. I did it was English. I switched over to French. It wasn't that bad. Of course, I'm not fluent in French, but I can read it fairly well, and it was a kid's article. It didn't look half bad to me, really. So although it's Google Translate, it could probably get somebody by pretty well if they needed to do that. All right, so here's the results of a search. So after you've performed your search, in this case we did a search for hair, you can specify the types of results you want and the subjects under which you want the results to fall. So these filters are available in advanced search as well as just basic, pop it in the search box and click. The articles can be saved here by clicking on the Save folder to the right of the results. So if you've made an account in Almanac, you can click Save. It'll go into your account and always be there for you. Or you can save them after you open the article. You can open that up. The Save function will still be there on the right. You can choose to do that. You can see there's articles, images. If you just want images of your search terms, if we only wanted images of hairs, we could click there, get that. Or you can specify if it falls in a different subject. I mean, there's only a few subjects that a search like hair is going to fall into, but it would depend on what you were looking for. An advanced search. This offers you the option to filter by type of resource and by topic to help narrow down your results. However, as we've already seen, you can do the same thing by using the menus on the left-hand side of the page that appear after you've performed a basic search. So really, advanced search is available a number of different ways. You can go straight off the home page like we saw, or do it right here as we saw. All right. Let's look at the article itself. Article options are listed under the subtitles. You can hear the text being read aloud, share the article, print it, or save it. You can see right here. Read aloud, share, print, save. Other components of the article include the contents and the citation information. Contents, right here, show you where I am. Provides you with quick links to related documents and resources called FactFile and Did You Know. So both resources include interesting facts on the subject being researched. So you can use FactFile, Did You Know, to kind of supplement the main article right here. And the citation for the article can be found at the end. So again, we can't really see it here, but it's available at the end, and it's an MLA, Chicago Manual, and Chicago Manual style and Harvard format. So a lot of the basic ones that require citing is. All right. So when you're saving something, here's what it will look like. So you can sign into your account or create a new account if it's your first time when you click on My Saved Item in the blue ribbon. So this will allow you to save your articles. So if it's your first time, just simply create your account. It'll ask you status, student, teacher, librarian, library patron. Put in your email, create a password, and then you're done. And then each time you use World Almanac Kids, just enter your username and password, and you'll access any saved articles that you've already crossed and add more to it. All right. So that was the World Almanac Kids, and now just to show you the World Almanac Kids Elementary. Remember, this is the one for the younger students, grade 4 and down. This is their homepage. So it has the same content as the World Almanac Kids, as the one for the older elementary school kids. But the biggest difference that you'll see is that the content and the presentation of the content are adapted for a younger age group. So it's got more simplified information. You can see things are much brighter and larger. So it's designed to appeal to that younger age group. But the information itself will be the same, just written at a level for the younger kids. And that brings us to the end of online databases for children.